Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. We're going to head to the NFL. We're going to head to Monday Night Football. It's a good one. AFC West Showdown. Kansas City is going to Denver. I'm going to start with Preston on this one. And Preston, I'm sorry, you're a guy that comes in sometimes with jerseys on. And you don't have a Pat Mahomes jersey yet? I mean, you're not jumping on the bandwagon?
You know what? I'll be the first to admit, out of Texas Tech, he made so many careless throws into triple coverage, and it might have had to do with being in the Big 12 back and forth, having to keep up because their defenses were so bad. But I just didn't think he'd be as good of a decision maker, at least that he's shown. Maybe Andy Reid and being behind the clipboard for a year has helped, but he's been ridiculously efficient, and I think like 9.5 yards per attempt. It's fantastic. I mean, no jersey yet, but I kind of feel bad that I was heating on the guy 2 years ago when he was at Texas Tech still.
I think the biggest key that you said, Darren, I said it on our radio show Monday. Look at it. It's as close to old school as you can get it. He held a clipboard for almost the full year before he got on the field. We don't see that anymore, rushing the quarterbacks in there. And he's head and shoulders again, above any of the quarterbacks we've had in the last 3 years. And we've had so many, go on there. I know Dak Prescott had the big year, and I know you loved that because you had the rookie of the year with that one. But I still think that Zeke Elliott earned that title as much as Prescott did with the running in that game. Ralph, Kansas City, now they're going to finally have a test. The first couple weeks, the teams that they playing the Chargers, no defense. Playing Pittsburgh,
Chargers number 24.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh number 29.
Yeah. And then San Francisco
number 22.
Yeah. Okay. Now they're going to face a defense. And it's going to be in a hostile environment, playing on Monday night. Does this, the big stage affect him in actually facing a defense?
Well, Denver's number 14 in defense, so you have a big improvement. Looking at the teams, again, great offense, but also the worst defense of football. Historically bad, 474 yards per game, 31 first downs per game their first 3 games. No one's ever done that bad in the NFL. So you look at KC, what do? They're minus 93 yards per game. That's not the good team. That's a team that's just scoring more than their defense. Denver on the flip side, plus 42 yards per game. So those comparisons, obviously an edge to Denver. Now let's add in travel. You have KC playing their third road in 4 weeks. You have Denver home for a third home game in 4 weeks. And you have a solid Monday night division home dog. It's not the same record as it used to be because a lot of the prime games have gotten moved to Sunday and it doesn't have that same mystique historically. But Denver's still 19-10-1 as a home dog. And for those that are Broncos fans, of those 19 wins that they've covered as a home dog, 18 were straight up wins. So if you like Denver, I would, as you guys say, sprinkle a little on the money line as well because, again, they're 19-10-1 as a home dog. Of those 19 wins, 18 straight up wins.
Did you get permission from VR to say sprinkle?
Sprinkle? Yeah, well, I'll ask him after the video, and hopefully he'll okay it.
Okay.
If not, we'll just reshoot.
Okay, no problem. Preston, you look at Case Keenum for Denver. Mixed reviews so far. He's definitely not playing. It's not the Case Keenum that we saw in Minnesota, and how much of that was Shermer, with it. What do you think of him in this game as a home dog?
I think he's fine, kind of an NFL average level quarterback, and he's not there to try and outscore teams. They're going to try to rely on their defense, their run game. They have a few different running backs now that are getting carries pretty regularly. You hate to put this all back, and the media is going to be talking Kansas City and Mahomes the entire time, but it really is, I think, this mystique behind Kansas City in this game and how kind of overvalued they've been, and they even were against San Francisco. And I said, I'm not going to step in front of this Kansas City train, and I lucked out. But my number was, I think, 4.5, and it was 6.5, and normally that's the spot I'd be betting.
A lot of people took San Francisco.
Yep. And I was like, there's something about having projections and data and numbers and them telling you not to overreact after a game or two. But I think there's also something to just being kind of smart with your eyes. And like, this Mahomes, and they've added some more weapons, in the receiving core too. They might just be a lot better than all the data we had from last year with Alex Smith. And if that's the case, we're going to lose a lot of money betting against them early in the season. So I was lucky. I stayed off. And now this one is so drastic. My number is 2.2. So I think the Denver, if it was plus 3.5, I'd maybe be looking at Denver. At 5.5 at one spot, 4.5 at most shops. That's really getting to the point where you need to bet Denver. I think one thing to look at, obviously, outside of Kansas City having one of the worst defenses in the NFL so far, is their run game's tied, I think, in 3.9 yards per carry, 19th with a cluster of teams, which isn't very good. It's been their pass game that's been sufficient, but they're not going to be able to run in Denver either. Second best run defense so far this season are the Broncos. So you're putting Mahomes in that bad spot on the road. You know, I was gonna bet Kelly under 3 interceptions. She had tweeted something about how she thinks he's gonna throw 3. I don't think Denver's really gonna pick him off 3+ times. It could happen though, but it's probably gonna be less. But the numbers say you're supposed to back Denver here. I'm not in a rush because this might just keep kind of trickling up. Maybe get a 6, which would be massive. But I'll have some money in some form or fashion on the Broncos here this week.
Game 1, you got to remember too, Boza wasn't playing for the Chargers. Pittsburgh, a different defense without Shazier. I mean, this is the first real pass rush he's going to face this season,
Absolutely.
so a different perspective.
Definitely.
Kelly's not here, but I could probably chime in for her and say, Monday night, primetime home dog, and she loves the Broncos, so I'm pretty sure Kelly would be on Denver.
You know, quick off the subject, but quick shout out to John Dorsey, who used to be the GM of Kansas City last year. He drafted Mahomes, and even at the end of the season, they knew they were going to jettison Allison Smith because Mahomes was the guy. Dorsey comes to the Browns, he drafts Baker Mayfield. Back-to-back quarterbacks he drafted. I mean, hats off to him as a GM. I mean, those are two good eyes.
All right, guys. Hey, you like our videos? Make sure to like and share them. You want to share your thoughts on this game? Give us your feedback or suggest a video that we can do. Leave us a comment in the comment section, and you'll be eligible to get a free week of service. We'll randomly draw a winner for that free week of service. We'll be back with more here at WagerTalk.com.